you rise, someday we'll drive. We fight for our lives, because everything's on the line. This is the Community Solutions Podcast. Jason Bradley and Richter from deep in the bowels of our underground lair and not reporting from over in Davos. Wouldn't touch it with a 20,000-mile pole.
Huh.
How you doing?
I wouldn't touch it with an 100 million mile pole, so there you go.
I think you're kind of closer than that already.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Hey, it's closer than the moon, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we are pretty close if you think about it like that. In the galaxy, in the universe, ladies and gentlemen, I think I know the song.
Yes.
I'm going to take a guess that it's Prince.
Prince.
Yeah, did he sing a Tears in Your Eye song or something?
I don't know. That's
Dry Tears in Your Eyes or something?
When doves cry, is that what you're thinking of?
No, that's When Tears Die or something. It's something like that's Prince is the right answer.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, what's the song again? Say it one more time.
The lyrics to the song, the tears in your eyes, someday will dry. We fight for our lives because everything's on the line this time.
Yeah, that's Prince.
No.
Well, what am I thinking of?
I don't know, but not this.
Well, you're the music guru here. You got to tell me.
I don't know every song. In some grand conspiracy to keep selling music, they keep coming up with new music.
Oh, the Beatles keep releasing things. Come on. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I think Bing Crosby just released a song a few weeks ago. I mean, they all come up with this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up because I don't think you're right. Who do you think?
Well, I know who this is. This is a song called The Line from Foo Fighters.
Well, that ain't right because there's some song by Prince called For the Tears in Your Eyes.
Yeah. Are you thinking of When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Big Pizza Pie? That's Amore?
That's Dean Martin. I know that one.
Okay.
All right. Well, once again, I don't know nothing. Who singed it? The Food Fighters?
Yes.
Okay.
The Food Fighters, yes.
You know what? Why would they call themselves the Foo Fighters? I called them the Food Fighters for the longest time. I actually found out that they weren't the Food Fighters at a Circuit City one time when I was looking for CDs. This is way back when I had like my first CD player. I'm like, oh, hey, the Food Fighters.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Foo.
Yes.
Man, it's Foo. It ain't food, it's Foo.
Yeah. I have never called them the Food Fighters.
Well,
on the other hand,
you just haven't lived, Jay. That's the problem.
Maybe that's true.
Speaking of not living, a bunch of primaries have happened all over the country and over the last few weeks, by the way.
Yeah.
Much of this, of course, is national stuff or national implications. The centerpiece to the greatest trade in Vikings history is on track to be to win the primary in Georgia. I think of old Herschel.
Yeah. Don't let me down again, Herschel. You were on my naughty list for how many years?
My memory of Herschel was the run where he lost his shoe. That was always always sticks out. It was all downhill from there, but
right.
Because that was the same years of the epic Jerry Burns rant, which is the greatest coaching rant in the history of coaching. It's better than Jim Mora.
Yeah.
Playoffs. They're talking about playoffs. I mean, yeah, it's even better than that.
Yeah.
And Dr. Oz looks like he's going to pull it off in Pennsylvania. What do you think of Dr. Oz? I don't know him well. What?
I don't, but usually people like that end up not being very conservative.
Yeah, well, what's his background though? I don't know what is he from. I mean, he's like a TV
doctor.
star.
Yeah, he had a TV show. He's some sort of TV doctor thing. So I don't know.
But did he become more prominent during COVID or something? I mean,
no, he's been around a long time. He had a daytime TV show for years and years and years.
Okay. Okay, I get. I
think my mom watched it or something.
I only heard him criticizing COVID stuff, and that was where he was on shows doing that. So I don't know anything about him. So I don't know what to or whatever you want to call him. I mean, I liked President Trump, so I guess that maybe that's not a accurate thing. But I mean, we got Matt Burke running for. I almost said vice president. Yeah. Lieutenant governor. We haven't talked, I guess, Jay, since the conventions. The total wastes of money that the Republican. I mean, imagine. I want to know what was spent at this convention and how it maybe could be better utilized in a different election. I mean, you think about it, it took what, 12 ballots to get.
Yeah.
I was almost right on a prediction. And Jensen actually won. I mean,
Yeah, he did.
not wild about Kim Crockett, but what the heck came out? I mean, what came out of that kid? What was the point?
I don't know. I really don't know what happened at that convention. So
You didn't miss anything, Jay. I kind of followed it on Twitter a little bit, but I kind of wish I hadn't. It was pretty. When Mike Murphy took the lead, and I just want to say this on the air, Mike Murphy in his campaign account had probably 1/20th of what my wife and I have in our checking and savings accounts. That could have been an issue had he won. I think he had $2,000
yeah.
left when he took the lead for one ballot. So it looks like it's a Jensen Walz probably matchup, and some people think Jensen's dead in the water. I don't know that I quite share that belief, but I think he still has failed largely to appeal outside of the Jeff Johnson crowd, and I think that's a problem. I just hope he doesn't sit there and go to meetings with the same 30 people.
Right.
He really needs to pounce on crime. He needs to pounce on. He needs to link Biden to Wall. He's got to do anything he can to get a vote and not worry about whether he's right or not, or whether Jake Duesenberg likes what he says. And I just, I'll probably end up voting for him reluctantly because,
Yeah, 4 more years of Walz.
4 more years of Walz, I would rather have an ice pick shoved up my arse than go through that. But, by the way, once again, Tim Walz still on track to not veto anything for an entire... Why do we have a governor? The governor of Minnesota has the line item veto, too. I mean, imagine a boss that never says no, a teacher that never says no, a parent who never says no. Why do we have a governor if he's just going to rubber stamp everything that goes in? It's a disgrace. It's an absolute veto anything. If the legislature passes that it's 8:30 right now, veto it. Just look like you're independent. And then he whines about omnibus bills. Well, who signs them all? Do something about it, you idiot. Mr. Long Distance Runner. She'd run to another country. Anyway, okay, rant over. What are the other primaries going on tonight? You and I were just talking about it, but what the hell's going on?
Oh goodness. I guess Brian Kemp won.
That's
Purdue.
right. Yeah. In Georgia governor. So is Stacey Abrams the opponent then?
I guess I didn't see that there was a race happening, so she must be the only one.
I have no idea.
I mean, how do you get up there and run? And after saying that you're looking to represent the worst state in the nation.
Well, I'm still waiting for her to concede that she lost last time.
Right.
I mean, I've been told that that's a threat to democracy if you don't concede an election and go away.
Can you hold 2 concurrent terms for the same office?
I guess she's running and I don't know. America's a horrible country. Elect me. I don't get that as a strategy. I think she's gonna have a tough time this year. I mean, I just that state's gonna swing back. I think, and I think.
I think Warnock's gonna lose too.
Yeah, I think any of the very close states in 2020, the states President Trump lost by minuscule amounts, but he won the previous time. My guess is they swing back into the red category.
Oh yeah, after this nightmare we're living through.
Well, and I would add, I think one thing not talked about is some of the purple states that are now pretty red.
Yeah,
Ohio, Florida. I mean, people forget President Obama won those states 10 years ago. That ain't happening now. I think Ron DeSantis might win by a margin that we haven't seen in Florida in quite a while.
Right.
I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, Jeb Bush didn't win by as much as DeSantis is going to.
Well, Jeb Bush is a Bush.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think his effectiveness as a governor at the time, he held a pretty high. I mean, his approval of Floridians was pretty high during that time.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. I mean, I think DeSantis. I think he'll win by 15. And of course that means it'll be wrong because I predict it. Of course we have. Of course we have here in Minnesota. We have CD1 going on tonight.
Yeah. Special election.
What's the official Jason Donald Bradley IV prediction for CD1 tonight?
I can't tell you. I know two people who are in a race. I can tell you one who's not going to win.
I can tell you this. I'm not going to care either way, but what's interesting? Do you know that with redistricting, this is the old district that is doing this election, but the new district will be electing the new representative.
Yeah.
It's a goofy thing with redistricting that I know the borders didn't change a lot, but you may have a different congressperson in 5 months than you are picking now. So, we'll keep looking at it through the night here. I know everybody's waiting with bated breath.
Oh, absolutely.
You are, Jay. I'm not. Now, what do you make of this school shooting in Texas? I mean, I know not much as details have come out.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, it's super sad, obviously. By different accounts, there's like 19 or 20 that have passed away, mostly kids. I don't know how you ever go after kids.
I don't get it. I tell you what I don't want to hear, though. I won't want to hear this kid's mentally ill. Okay, I'm sorry, but I just don't want to hear that. Yeah. I mean, let's hold on here before we put labels. I mean, look, 5 hours later, and everybody's an expert on what happened here, and that just the narrative starts right away,
right?
And it's just like, wait a second here, because what bothers me when I hear someone's mentally ill, it discounts evil.
Yes.
Okay. Not everybody in jail is psychologically disturbed. I mean, there is a such thing as evil. When I say a guy like Saddam Hussein was mental, I don't mean give him a pill and send him to his room. I mean, put him in a jail cell and throw the key away.
Right.
That's what I mean. Okay. So, let's not confuse the two. And I think often, evil is now considered a mental illness.
Yeah.
It's been replaced by that.
Yeah. Where sometimes people just kind of go off the rails in the wrong direction, or they have such a terrible upbringing that that's all they know.
That's true.
To be ruthless.
True. I'm not sure that's an illness. I think that's because to me an illness is, like a cold or like a cancer, but
right.
To me I think psychopaths are definitely made.
Yeah.
Babies are born innocent, not good or bad. But at the same time, at some point you're an adult and you make up your own decisions and you can't blame somebody else for your actions. I'm just amazed. I unfortunately, when I heard about it, my wife told me about it today, I got on Twitter and I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I just thought, how long before some a-hole politician, without knowing a thing, takes this and says something about it?
It didn't take very long.
I mean, instead of just saying, "Oh my God, this is such a tragedy. I'm so sorry for Mike Pence," had a great tweet about it. I had the unfortunate response of looking at my congressman,
Mr. Dean Phillips.
150 pounds, 170 if you had his nose, made a tweet about how people who disagree with him love their AR-15s more than they love their kids or something like that.
How would he know what's going on? He's over at Davos.
I don't know. I just wanted to say, you MFer, you just shut your mouth, you little pipsqueak, you little wuss. Just be quiet, you little, guy who's never worked an honest day in his life. just be quiet.
Who's never voted pro-life in his life.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden he's worried about kids.
Yeah. You got to love Phillips, though, because he has that reputation as a moderate.
Right.
Even though he's anything but. So it's just, but it was, I mean, I had heard no details about it. I just happened to get on Twitter, and unfortunately, the first thing that showed up was that little pipsqueak. So it was just, I mean, was an AR-15 used? I don't know. You know, unfortunately, there is an epidemic of this for some reason, and I don't know what the reason is. I don't know what the remedy is. Everybody says we need to do something, but what we do is very important. And I don't know how do you stop school shootings? I mean, there's an amount of risk that just is out there. But by the way, you want to shoot up something, it's well known that schools are unarmed. I mean, I'm not saying people should stand at the door with guns, but if you want to go shoot up something, go to a place where guns are banned.
Yeah, not a lot of resistance. So
I mean, schools are kind of sitting ducks, and I think the schools are going to respond by punishing the kids, by making them go through metal. But it wasn't a kid at this school, so I don't understand it. But
right,
I don't know. I'm just worried that the as always the response will have no measure. It's all just an emotional reaction, and that's always you make decisions based on emotion. You make bad decisions.
Yes.
So look for a lot of common sense laws to be proposed.
Yeah.
Because we have to do something. And chances are, again, hey, I'm all for gun control as long as the government and the criminals abide by the same rules I have to.
I'm all for gun control. You should use two hands to make sure it's steady.
Real gun control, the weapons end up in the hands of government and criminals who are often the same people. So it's just,
Yeah.
Why can our federal government have every nuclear weapon in the world, but I have to go through hell in a handbasket to have a handgun?
Shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately.
I'm not saying we should have a nuke on every corner. I'm just saying, why do you trust, why are there no rules for some and there's tons of rules for others? So I don't know.
Yeah.
But we have that to look forward to. And for this community and all that, this just sucks.
Yes.
It just sucks. I don't know another way to put it. It's just, I'm at a loss for words on it. But anyway.
Yes.
So we'll keep updating the primary as it goes. By the time you listen to this, you'll know the results. But we still love to talk about it in real time, right, Jay?
Yes, we do.
All right. The good news keeps on coming now, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't it? Yeah, don't it? Jay, I'm going to tell you something. There's a saying that all good things come to an end.
Good night, everybody.
What? No. Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't all bad things come to an end too?
Well, because our government is behind most bad things. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Yes.
I have to admit, the Blue Line Extension Project, when BNSF would not let the rail be used for. I honestly thought that would kill this thing.
I did too. I thought.
What are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? What's the next thing? To be honest with you, what can you do? Well, and I don't really understand what they're doing, but it isn't dead.
No, far from it, unfortunately.
Metro Transit, the Met Council. The Met Council and Hennepin County are pleased to announce, I'm getting this at metrocouncil.org, by the way, the release of a route recommendation for the Metro Blue Line extension after carefully reviewing community input. Shove it up your arse. Give me a break. And findings from technical analyses completed to date. The project recommends extending the existing Blue Line light rail transit from Target Field Station along West Broadway in Minneapolis to County Road 81 in Robbinsdale and Crystal along West Broadway in Brooklyn Park. Now, isn't that the same route that we've been talking about this entire time?
It seems like it. I don't see any diversions.
So how is it going to run if it's not going to run on the existing rail?
Well, rumors are it's going to go up the middle of the road. So they made it from 4 lanes to 6. It would probably go back to like 4.
You're kidding.
I mean, can they even put that in just a 2-lane imprint? They've only got so much room. They had to move the frontage roads into a backage road on the neighborhood side, and then they,
it looks like you're right that it would go down the middle.
These people are dumb.
Oh, that's just insanity.
Yeah. All the complaints about remember when they wanted to put the they wanted to kind of fight with the trains, the BNSF trains, and there were all how often are the ambulances going to get through, and this and that, and what are they doing that's any different?
The Metro Blue Line Extension Project is an essential part of our region's transportation infrastructure, says Met Council Chair Charlie Zeeley. Our partners at Hennepin County and the Metro Blue Line Extension staff have done an admirable job in balancing the feedback we have heard from the community, engineering challenge, and route analyses in making this recommendation. Really? You started from a preconceived notion that we're going to do this no matter what.
Right.
Let's just be honest here. Hennepin County offered you no resistance. All they did was hump your leg. They have no interest in stopping this.
Yeah.
And so you didn't do that. You just said, okay, how do we get this done? What do we do? How can we screw everyone? That's what you did.
Wasn't that the way it always goes?
Well, yeah, but I mean, golly. BringMeTheNews.com. Met Council reveals its preferred route for the Blue Line extension, which didn't change from the previous one. Now, Jay, you got to take us back in time a little.
Yeah.
So I think some longtime listeners of this show kind of know the history a little bit, and I think some people maybe don't. I mean, this project is 30 years in the making, isn't it, really? I mean, you go back to Hiawatha, and I don't know what year that opened. I know the construction began when Jesse Ventura was the governor, but I don't remember when that opened exactly. But the history of Botno, or County Road 81, whatever you want to call, Botno, nobody calls it that unless you draw a government paycheck.
Right.
But I mean, the history of this, take us back 20 or 30 years. And where did this begin? How did this go? How in the heck did we end up where we are?
Well, when nobody was paying attention, there was something called the Botno Boulevard Partnership. So you had people from the cities of Crystal, Brooklyn Park, Robbinsdale, Minneapolis, Golden Valley, all getting together. And they got together with Target Corporation, Olympus, right?
North Hennepin Community College, the hospital.
College. Yep. So they all got together and decided, hey, we really need to make sure that there's some light rail on this line, because everything now is about equity, right? And so if you can't get poor people from where they live in the poor areas to their jobs, because apparently all the poor people live along the light rail line, so then you have problems. You're not being equitable because you're not getting people up and down this line. Now, we all know that's dumb, for one, okay? People work all over the place, and these lines never make their money back. They are never self-sustaining. They always need taxpayer money to keep going. However, they do the studies. They even get all expenses paid trips out to Portland to study their lousy system.
I still want to know who went out there.
Yeah.
As a taxpayer, where's my transparency of who actually went on that trip?
Yeah, it didn't say.
Somebody took it.
Yeah.
Remember that old website with all the broken links?
Oh, yeah.
All the maps and all that stuff. What happened there?
I don't know.
God, it was the worst website on earth. It was like written in crayon. It was seriously, it was like, remember Windows 95 when something would load for like 10 minutes? That's what that website was like. It was,
that's so good.
It was horribly made. I remember you and I doing TV talking about it. The broken links and all that stuff. It was never updated. It was just
it was awful.
I think they quit paying the fee. They quit paying the host or something. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Jay. I interrupted you there.
That's fine. So, anyways, they had this partnership, and Hennepin County was on that in that partnership as well. And so, Hennepin County worked with the cities and the businesses, and they all came up with a plan and what they wanted to do. And they start with the whole reconstruction, right? Making Bottineau County Road 81 from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, moving the frontage road into the neighborhood, all that kind of stuff. And they're not publicly talking about light rail yet at this time. Now, on their website, they may have, but nobody knew about this partnership, so nobody went to go look at the website.
Well, remember,
this is something we found just through research later on.
But remember the where they claimed that they were looking at bus rapid transit or something too.
Right.
I'm of the belief that was
they were
never really considered. I think that was just BS. Remember old 63rd and 81 up there, the ghost town that was the bus station up there
on 63rd and 81.
Is that still there? Is that bus station still there?
It's still there. I don't think it's open though. I don't think they use it. It's the high
demand for that. Though we're told everyone wants transit, Jay.
The Mike Opat Memorial Bus.
Yeah, it's the Mike Opat ghost town.
it's where it's less populated than a Chinese ghost town.
Yeah, it's where transit goes to Croak. It's just a total. But listen, okay.
I parked there once, and I'm pretty sure I saw a tumbleweed.
Yeah, you parked there once, and
well, it's 2 floors, and they
chained it off. Remember, they roped off the top.
You could not park on the top floor because it was roped off, and the bottom floor was about a third full
on a good day.
Yeah,
I mean, a third full is generous sometimes. Days that I saw it, but remember, there's tons of transit though. That's what we're told.
Right.
So that's what everybody wants.
Everybody.
So everybody kind of got together. Everybody was really in favor of it. And they slowly moved forward with this. Kind of like you're getting a land of 1,000 paper cuts. They did their environmental impact stuff. They got approval from here, approval from there. As soon as it started getting out, though, and there was significant opposition to it, they tried to ramrod this through. This has been in the plans for so long. It just feels like my entire adult life, this has been in the plans. And I'll tell you what, when this entire time, don't you think they should have called the railroad at some point in these last 30 years and said, hey, by the way, we don't own your railroad. Do you mind if we use it for something?
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how incompetent government can be
They
sometimes?
went through all this work.
I mean, just and spent all
this money.
Just imagine, you are a boss at work and you assign somebody something. They spend 20 years working on it. And then when we're ready, when we get to that point, all of a sudden, oh, yeah, did you talk to whoever you need? Oh, no, in 20 years, we never did.
Yeah. It's just such poor planning.
It's almost not believable.
Right.
They almost don't believe it in some ways. I think they just thought they could bully the railroad or that they could, somehow it would happen and they didn't have to do anything. I honestly think they just didn't take it seriously.
Right.
So anyhow. So that kind of brings us to where we're at a little bit on, and by the way, we should say it goes from, we did kind of mention this, but I want to say this. It goes from downtown, which nobody wants to go to.
Right.
That just North Minneapolis wants to come out here.
Target Field Station is where it starts.
Right. And it goes up what, Jay? Up through.
I think Plymouth Avenue to the Plymouth Avenue station. Or no, it does.
7th Avenue
Plymouth,
onto Lyndale,
yes.
I think now.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And then it jumps up.
Or up to Golden Valley Road, and then it follows West Broadway.
Up to Robbinsdale, goes through Crystal, Brooklyn Park, goes to West Broadway, which is interesting, finishing, of course, at Target. Of course, naturally, it's right at Target.
Right.
How many of those people are working from home right now? I don't know, but that's where it ends up. Goes past North Hennepin Community College, which I believe is on 85th. I should know. I used to go there. So we're sort of back to pretty much the same version.
Yes.
But what they say about this is where I can't understand if I live in the same world that these people do. Okay? Taking a route through the heart of North Minneapolis will provide more transit options for lower-income residents of the city, with the council saying it represents, listen to this, quote, a generational and unprecedented transit investment in a corridor that has experienced a history of systemic racism and a high percentage of zero-car households. Now,
really?
Now, can you define for me high percentage of zero-car households?
A high percentage for me would be, 80% and
right.
more.
High percentage would be definitely a majority.
Yes.
Okay, not a handful here and there. Of course, no numbers, no facts to back up. What's the systemic racism? If we don't have light rail, we're all racists?
Well, apparently. Why don't you want people of color to be successful, Andrew?
I would love it if all of them were successful. I'm sure. I don't think light rail is how they're going to get there.
No, it's not.
Sorry, I just don't think that's the key. I could name about 1.5 million things before light rail.
Yes.
Listen to this loon. This is my district commissioner, by the way, and we'll get into her in a second. Irene Fernando. Don't you remember the Fernando song?
Yeah.
No.
Fernando.
Oh, no. The pitcher from the Dodgers. Don't you remember he had his own songs?
He had his own songs?
Fernando. Don't you? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
This guy who looked like Crambone used to sing it. That played like a ukulele or something like that.
Tiny Tim?
Huh?
Tiny Tim?
I don't know.
Oh.
I won't say what I used to call him. Listen to what she says.
Okay.
I don't know his name. I just remember Fernando, when he pitched for the Dodgers, had this following, and they made up Fernando songs.
Uh,
The new proposed route for the Blue Line Extension Light Rail project will bring transformational benefits to the residents from Minneapolis to Brooklyn Park, says Irene Fernando, Hennepin County District 2 Commissioner and Chair of the Regional Railroad Authority. The communities served by the proposed route are transit-reliant, racially diverse, and have experienced historical disinvestment. Huh?
really?
The proposed route will connect students to education, workers to jobs, patients to healthcare, and families to resources, while connecting the corridor to the broader transit network, and it will ignite economic development for small business, resulting in more affordable housing options, increase access to educational opportunities, and build wealth for working families. Really? You know, if light rail did all that, can somebody explain to me? I would like to know along the Hiawatha line. Can you give me any evidence that the Hiawatha line has done any of the above?
No.
If they could, Jay,
Yes.
they would be touting it here.
Right. It's
kinda
there would
like
be
what-
some sort of study that they would.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
District 281 when you listen to them. If their 5-point bullet plan was working, it would be all over the front page of their website.
Right.
Okay, the fact that it isn't there and you can't find any measurable results at all from their strategic vision, for the future.
Right.
I mean, that's just insanity. We've experienced historical disinvestment. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo is all it is. Historical disinvestment. Yeah. Everybody took their dollars and went somewhere else because they just didn't want to help people of color. Or maybe it was people didn't A, want to be in Minneapolis, be in a crime-ridden part of Minneapolis, and they took their businesses out to the suburbs because that's where majority of people lived.
Maybe
and
they
it
didn't
was
have.
less expensive.
It could be. There's a million reasons. I mean, it could be they didn't have qualified workers where they were. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't. I don't understand how. I mean, the idea that it's going to ignite affordable housing options. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
The government talks and talks and talks about affordable housing, but their actions are the 100% opposite of that.
Yeah.
They build luxury apartments, they tear down houses, they build up McMahon and other things like that.
Yep.
They're doing everything they can to create unaffordable housing. Every possible thing that they can. I mean, it's all to increase the tax value so they can get more money. I mean, who wants to live? I mean, I'm sorry, but the last place on earth that I want to live is in North Minneapolis next to light rail.
Right.
I mean, I know you want to move there, Jay, but I mean, who would like to live there?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people would like to live there.
Right. People live there because they have to, not because they want to. And I don't know what you're doing. You're connecting. I love build wealth for working families.
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to say that this is like a bad joke, but quite frankly, I love Channel 5's headline. KSTB.com. This is one of my favorite headlines. I don't think they mean to be this transparent over at Channel 5, but listen to what they say. Officials recommend route for Blue Line extension, quote, ask for community input. So you've recommended a route, and now that you've decided on it, you want to know community input. Not whether we want it or not. No, you've decided it. But now you want community input now on what you've decided.
Right.
So, Jay, I tell you what, I've decided I've just here. How about this? I'm going to come in and rob your house.
Oh, okay.
And whether I, steal your car or steal your TV, I'll give you the choice. I'm going to rob your house, okay?
Yeah.
But I'll give you that option. That's basically the option that we're getting here.
Oh, it's just insane.
So I don't know that KSTP. I don't know if they mean to be funny or what, but I don't think they realize. And here's another thing too. Where is the they have the same quotes from the same people. Your buddy too, Jeff Lundy.
Yeah.
Makes KSTP. The benefits of this project exceed the obvious, Hennepin County District 1 Commissioner Jeff Lundy said in a statement. We'll be making infrastructure improvements that help all modes of transportation, upgrade utilities, and address environmental injustices along the corridor. With one project, we are transforming people's access as well as their livability within their surroundings. We're also transforming employers' ability to get staff on site, which is gaining in importance with people back at the workplace. Really? I mean, again, you're going to address environmental injustices.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your buddy, Jeff Lundy, up there, Jay. What do you have to say about that? I am very pleased by today's announcement of the recommend route, Met Council member Reva Chambliss said in a statement. Like many people, I'm excited about the prospect of an equitable transit solution. I mean,
how could you not be excited about that?
well, I mean, it's almost like these people are reading from cue cards. Is there something that goes, a memo that goes on? I know that talking points memo often goes out overnight, but I mean, gee whiz, this is almost embarrassing to read. By the way,
yes.
should we update CD1?
Yes.
Pretty close. Finstad 33%, Munson 28%. The Hormel guy, I believe, is Jeff Ediger's got a decent sized lead in the DFL one.
Huh.
About a quarter of the precincts have reported. Yeah, there are 409,000 registered voters there. Well, I guess that'd be right. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. Seems high to me, but by the way, we should mention all of our Hennepin County commissioners are. I mean, the vote's pretty much 7-0 for this in your county of Hennepin County, Jay.
Yes.
Well, that's my county too, but and we have to bring to light here 3 of the commissioners who are up this year. Okay. All for re-election.
Yeah.
All 3. This is what's driving me nuts. All 3 live in Minneapolis. I mean, I know how the districts are drawn here, but all 3 of these people live in one city. So, commissioner in commissioner in District 3.
Yes.
Another one of your girlfriends, Jay. Marion Green with an E.
Yes.
She's the real anti-smoking zealot out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to say something too before we go into her website. You can find her at mariongreenwithane.org. What county government is supposed to do? Okay, now we all know public safety, roads, the courts, assessing, health and human services. The county has mandates from the state of Minnesota and what they're supposed to be focused on. Marion Green has got a page here about her focus. And you'll be glad to know they pretty much don't include anything that she's mandated to focus on. Now, we should mention District 3. I want to say, Jay, District 3 is like western Minneapolis and like St. Louis Park, and it's a weird shape. It's kind of shaped like Africa, the district, if you can picture the continent of Africa.
Yes.
And I want to let everybody know what her focus is. Number 1, equitable wealth building. To ensure access to stable and affordable housing. You know what I'd love to know? I'd love to know Hennepin County, while she's been a commissioner, how about the prices of homes have gone from.
Yeah.
I bet they're up like 100% during the time she's been commissioner. So she's doing a great job on that. Climate action to build a green and resilient Hennepin County. Transit connectivity to reduce reliance on cars due to their economic and environmental burdens. Piloting and building programs for immigrant communities and new Americans to support all those who work, go to school, and live in Hennepin County. Now, you notice something there. You notice she mentioned nothing about public safety.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't care about that.
Nothing about any of the things, any of the departments that she's supposed to be running here. It's all a personal agenda to make Hennepin County some liberal utopia. Now,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Okay.
It gets better. District 4, which I believe is all in Minneapolis. You know, here's another thing, too. When Peter McLaughlin stepped down or didn't run again or whatever, not a fan of him. I served with him on a committee at the, where the hell was that? That transit committee I was on. Citizens League.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, it can get worse. This is the one thing. You remove somebody, it can get worse. You remove the Shah of Iran, it can get worse.
Yeah.
Always remember that. Angela Connolly, maybe that, first off, I want you to listen to her 5 points here. I'm not even going to read anything under them, Jay. I just want you to hear them.
Yes.
Number 1, environmental justice. Now, does that make your skin crawl and cringe already? Housing and equitable development. You know, I'll tell you what, with all the people focusing on housing in Hennepin County, the prices ought to be going down by like 50% right now. You know, but they're not. I mean, the strange thing is that all these people talking about affordable housing and the housing prices do nothing but go up. I mean, you'd think, you know, health and wellness, racial and economic justice, and transportation, and this is a first, mobility justice. I don't think she defines mobility justice.
I don't think so.
But mobility justice now. That's a new one. I have not heard that before.
Wow.
So that's the focus there. So she's up for re-election in District 4, which is hopeless. But I mean, I don't know if I even want to read some of this. Vote Conley, CONLEY.com is where I'm getting this under issues that matter. I want to see what her accomplishments are, too. This is fun. I always like this. Oh, you'll get this.
Yeah.
With my colleague, Commissioner Fernando, I co-authored a resolution to officially declare racism a public health crisis in Hennepin County. So that is one of her accomplishments, that she has declared racism a public health crisis. And she championed an emergency shelter for people who identify as women. Remember, not for women.
Right.
It's for people who identify as that. So, Jay, if you and I need shelter some night,
Yes.
we can go there and identify as women.
Good. Maybe get,
Give us
get some of the perks of
free breast milk or something with
don't
it.
know. Yes. Oh boy. That's
So
out of hand.
So that's now we go to Fernando.
Okay.
VoteIrene.com. Delivering change, promoting innovation, and advancing equity. I'm already puking. And again, what do I see on the front page? I established and supported strategies to invest in millions of dollars of affordable housing. Well, where is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, if you can point to something,
It's all the apartment buildings they're building. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with what is good. It's definitely not more entry level housing like houses. It's all wrapped up in apartment buildings, and whether it's senior living or whether it's luxury apartments or what have
next to transit, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
We know this.
We deserve vibrant communities that will require significant investment, aka spending,
Yes.
in community wealth building. What is this community wealth building stuff?
I don't get it.
Does anybody in government know how you create wealth?
No, they don't.
I don't even want to explain it to them because
They think somebody's going to get wealthy because they can take the bus at Target and work at their 40, 50, 60-hour a week job for nothing.
We deserve equitable communities, though, Jay, that will require dramatic action to address centuries of disinvestment. But wait a minute. I thought you just said that you are having huge investment in wealth building. So how can you be disinvesting while you're investing?
Doesn't matter.
Just sell some stock and okay.
It doesn't have to matter.
We deserve safe communities. And you know what that requires? No, not enforcing the law. No, it requires shifts in how we approach emergency response, law enforcement, and criminal justice. Yeah, it's not enforcing the law. No. We don't do that. We deserve healthy communities, Jay.
Yes.
That will require meaningful investment in mental health, environmental restoration, and safe spaces for all to walk, bike, and roll.
Wow.
What's that? Is that pushing you down a hill?
That's what I'm wondering. Is it pushing me down a hill, or is that like rollerblading? I don't even get that.
We got to roll. Man, we got to roll.
We need safe spaces to roll. I swear, between that and shutting down the streets so that people can plane the streets a couple times a year, people need to grow up, because we're sitting in a place where we've got all these people that want to live like they're 5 years old and frolic in the streets, and instead of trying to figure out what's best for a community, it's just all selfish.
Well, and I'll tell you what, with Miss Fernando, if you want to go to her vision page, if you want it to get worse, go to her vision page. Housing is a human right. Hennepin communities are struggling with housing costs. Wait a minute, I thought that you fixed that.
No. Again, they would not have any. They would not have anything to do if they fixed that.
Yeah, exactly. No victims. Expanding ballot access. This is one of her vision things. Every resident should have the right to vote. No. You have to be a citizen. You have to be 18 or older. You have to register. That's how you get to vote. It's not hard.
Right.
We must prioritize convenient ways to cast ballots. Well, especially for people with higher barrier. Can you explain to me, Jay, what is a barrier to voting? I mean, who is being prevented from voting?
I don't understand anybody that's prevented from voting.
You can vote early. You can vote absentee. You don't have to vote in person. You can register online. I mean, it is as easy to vote now as it ever has been.
Yeah. I mean, You have more options. You can go earlier.
I
can have somebody bring it to you and have them hand it in.
My wife works in senior housing. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm going to get you riled up here.
Okay.
Redesigning county roads.
Oh, isn't that how we started this podcast?
Pretty much. People rely on Hennepin County's 2,200 miles of roadway to get their kids to school, go to blah, 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 blah. This is important infrastructure that must be improved and meet the current and future needs of residents. Aren't those kind of the same?
Yeah.
I mean, the past needs for a road and the future needs to a roads. Why would they be different? Go to work, go to school, get the shopping done, take a vacation. What are the past and future needs for roads? Aren't they kind of what's the difference? I'll tell you the difference. Our roads should be welcoming. Whether you drive, bike, walk, roll, or take transit. I'll go on. Immigrants and undocumented residents. Used to be called illegal aliens.
Yeah.
Everyone should have access to resources in our community without being criminalized. We need to strengthen protections and invest in services that ensure all are safe and can comfortably call Hennepin home. So, if you snuck across the border and ended up here, you get everything that we get.
Yep. How nice of them.
Yeah.
How generous.
Environmental justice. God, I didn't want to read this. Communities of... What do communities of... Do we all not breathe the same air?
Yes. We all got the same blood inside of us.
And if there's less cars around communities of color, wouldn't that be... Shouldn't they have better quality according to these people?
Yeah.
Communities of color and working class communities experience disproportionate impacts of climate change and air pollution, says who? I don't know. We need to aggressively invest in renewable energy. What? Is this a function of the county?
No.
I mean, what are you going to do? Where are you going to put all the solar? Where are you going to put all the windmills? I'd like to know how many windmills would it take to power up this entire county? You tell me where you're going to put them there, Fernando. I'd like to know. Going to put those in those communities of color? I mean, it's just insanity.
Yes. Yes, it is. But they continue to march down this path completely bent on it. It doesn't matter what we say or what we do or, if any of this makes sense or how much money it costs. I mean, ultimately it ends up costing way above price in every scenario it's ever been tried.
Well, and I'd like to know something too. I mean, she has a page of accomplishments.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know what this is.
Okay.
Anti-hate initiative. Supported by your buddy, Jeff Lundy. To secure $1 million to fund anti-hate initiatives.
Huh.
What the hell are those?
Well, I hate the initiative. Well, we all know anti-hate initiatives. This is where, you, in one way or another, whether it's financial or whether it's through some other means, are making reparations in that you make one group of people better than another. You give them more benefits. That's all this is. How can we funnel things from one group to somebody else?
Okay. I figured it out. This
Yes.
is from the Sun Post, September 23rd, 2021.
Oh.
Hennepin County putting $1 million toward anti-hate initiative. That is the title of the... and it was $800,000 the previous year, so they upped it 20%. If you want to look at, yeah, of course. Yeah. The money, blah blah blah. hold on.
Yes.
So the money which came from federal pandemic recovery funds, which of course was borrowed from the Federal Reserve, is tapped for efforts including data gathering, analyses, investigation, and outreach. Now, I'm not sure what that means, but a chief concern among commissioners is the lack of data collected on hate crimes and bias-motivated incidents. It is underreported in the state of Minnesota and Hennepin County, Lundy said. It's not uncommon for the role of bias in an assault not to be included in a police report when the case is submitted. Meaning what? What's the bias?
I don't know.
Gathering more data. Well, this is... I don't even get it.
Read it to me again here.
I don't even... a chief concern among commissioners is the lack of data collected on hate crimes and bias-motivated incidents. Well, doesn't that kind of... what's a hate crime? Is that a crime where a black or a gay person is a victim? It's just automatically assumed it's a hate crime?
I think there has to be some sort of...
It's got to be some sort of racial...
motivation, yeah.
It's not uncommon for the role of bias in an assault not to be included in a police report. Well, what? Well, put it in there then. What do you need to spend $1 million on? Commissioners were also thinking outside their own jurisdiction. Yeah, right. I think we might be able to probably set something up that can be a role model for the rest of the state. Oh, God, says Debbie Godel from District 5. Oh, boy, a model for the rest of the state. Lundy has been in contact with a number of state legislators. Oh, God, that's even worse.
I know.
You really want to see what the state can do to elevate the game.
Oh, boy.
So I guess it's gobbledygook. I don't. Doesn't seem to mean anything. I mean, look. I think the point that we're trying to make here. I mean, look. The point on Botno is. I hate to say this, but it's going to happen at some point. It's going to get shoved down everybody's throat over here, Jay. It's going to run right by you.
That's the way it's headed.
Yeah. I mean, you've staved it off for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I don't know if I've ever asked you this. When you moved to Crystal, did you know anything about those plans? I mean,
Of course not.
Yeah.
No. I only found out about it later. I moved into the area like December of 2000. No, I take that back. December of 98.
Oh, wow.
Moved into Crystal.
So it's been dang near a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
Huh, wow.
Yep. So I don't know. I didn't know about it when I moved in, and they sure weren't very eager to tell me.
Well, they're not eager to tell you anything. No offense.
Well, that's true. They didn't know me back then, and they still weren't eager. I had no idea who I was, how much trouble I was going to
be. They might have set up some housing barricade if they knew you were going to come into town.
They would have failed the inspection.
Yeah. Well, they had the point of sale stuff back then, which they don't have anymore.
Right.
You know, I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, Hennepin County is the commissioners there. It's such a lost cause. Well, it's not a lost cause. It just has become one because no one does anything.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know how to begin to do something with Hennepin County.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost... it's sad in a way that no one challenges these people.
Yeah, nobody does.
I mean, all of the possible people that could run who could do something to rein this county in. I would argue they're one of the most left-wing counties in the country.
That's probably true. I mean, obviously, you've got like King County around Seattle. That's way worse.
Well, Seattle
You've got-
is, I don't know about the county, but I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably right, though. It's probably the same jokers no matter what.
Yeah. L.A. County.
Oh,
Terrible,
God,
you know.
geez.
You know, it's so yeah, it's
It's up there, though. I
Yeah.
mean, Minneapolis has been a laughing stock for a while. I mean,
Right.
It's so. I mean, I don't know if I'd call. Here's the other thing too. How is there not a lawyer in Hennepin County with a sensible brain that can run for county attorney?
yeah, I don't know.
How's that not possible?
That one stumps me. You know, we see what the people who are running for county attorney are. We see who they are, and nobody wants to oppose them. Nobody wants to stand up. Nobody wants to make it different.
Well, and here's what I don't understand. We have all of these people preaching law and order, preaching, and it's like, okay, how do you people who are doing that, whether you're in politics or out of it,
Right.
how are you not targeting these races? You see what's going on? You mentioned L.A. with the joker out there.
Gaston, yeah.
We've mentioned Dallas, where they won't prosecute, or whatever that was in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you don't steal $750 worth of stuff, you're not getting prosecuted.
Right.
How is it that these races are going uncontested then? I mean, if that's really the truth,
Yeah.
okay, how is that possible? Because as long as these county attorneys are there, they're going to do what they want to.
Right. They will. And these county attorneys that are doing this are funded by George Soros, but
Some of them are, yeah.
they are not getting the strategy and stuff like that from him, and so people are really left on their own, and I don't know how nobody rides in, and at least tries.
But like I hear in a state like Texas, I mean, you sit there and you listen to their attorney general and their governor and a bunch of people. How are they not recruiting somebody to run in Dallas, of all places?
Yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't have any guesses. Quick update, Jeremy Munson took the lead.
Really?
About half the precincts in. Yes.
Ooh.
The
Let
Hormel
me
guy.
guess, Jennifer Carnahan is still...
Kernahan is a strong third with 8% of the vote.
Well, that's third. I don't know if that's strong.
Bob again
Huh?
has 151 votes as of right now. Does he have a lot of relatives down in CD1?
Maybe.
J.R. Ewing is coming up, though. He's got 114. But he got
boy.
shot.
Yeah, I did too.
There's 1, 2,
Bobby going to be his right-hand man?
10 candidates there are.
Oh, goodness.
But even he's not doing as bad as Richard Painter.
Ah,
Got 959 votes.
wow.
But it looks like, I want to say Jeff Ettinger is the Hormel guy. He's running away with the DFL 64%. And there's 8 candidates in that.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it could be Munson could pull this off. I don't know. I don't have a map of where the votes are coming from, so I don't really know that.
Right.
But nothing's been declared or anything. But let me go back to Hennepin County for a second. You look out in some of these districts, District 7, I want to say it's 6, that goes to Lake Minnetonka all the way out, 7 that goes from Champlin all the way out to like Rogers and other.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something. I think it is just a total disgrace that there's no candidates from that area.
Yeah.
I know they're not up this time, but I mean, how is it? I know 7 is Jeff Johnson's old seat, but I mean, how is it that those areas do not have strong candidates running in those places? I mean, there are places, without a doubt, that somebody not a loon, you don't have to be a Republican.
Right.
You just have to not be crazy. And I don't understand how that's happening. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just sick. Just sick.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm interested to keep following this race. By the way, the grassroots legalized cannabis party and the legalized marijuana now were both on the ballot.
Yeah.
Surprised they don't get together. There must be a lover's quarrel there or something. The candidates are Huron McClellan and Richard B. Reisdorf. They will be on the ballot. One of them got 118 votes. The other got 200. Well, I guess it's still half the vote in, but so they are on the ballot come November. Legalize cannabis now and grassroots cannabis. They must be different brands. Maybe that's like McDonald's and Burger King running against each other or something. I don't know. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a mess. It really is. And
all right, I'm done trying to follow. I'm trying to follow what people are saying on Twitter, but there's nothing really being said right now by my usual sources.
Well,
my phone's running down.
Better catch it.
All right, hang on, Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still not getting anything. Okay, well, that's boring radio. So Hennepin County, hopeless. If you live in Minneapolis, Robbinsdale, Crystal, Brooklyn Park, Blue Line extension coming near you.
Yes.
Can we just say that with pretty much absolute certainty? I think we can say it with not quite absolute certainty, but pretty darn close. I mean, it just, I don't have the energy to fight this stuff anymore.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, you people who want North Minneapolis in your community, you just keep sitting there on the sidelines doing nothing. I mean, we've already talked about the crime seeping out to what do you think's going to happen when light rail comes in?
Oh, absolutely. A first class ticket to some other place.
I mean, it's think about during the riots, and we had boarded up buildings, we had curfews. Of course, the criminals could do whatever they wanted. But us citizens weren't able to do that. But, I don't know. Just, I'm amazed at how many people are still for it. I'm honestly amazed at that. But Jay,
yeah, well, I don't think many of them are your local residents. I think a lot of them are people who have been in government. They're in big government. They're in business. They're, it's not the people.
I think the people remain divided on it. A lot more than is talked about. I really do. I really think it is much closer than that. But Jay,
yes,
you're going to have to end us here.
Oh boy,
because that time has come again.
Wow.
Sorry for all the bad news today, folks. I mean, it's just we give you the truth. We don't get to pick what the truth is.
All right, it's a virtual cornucopia of bad news today, but that's
go to those websites. You can go talk to the Met Council now that they made the decision for you. Feel free to do that. Jay, would you lift us up just a little bit here? I mean, just try. We once again have words of wisdom. The master of disaster, the king of sting, the Roddy of Piper, the cream of the crop, ladies and gentlemen. Jet flying, limousine riding, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. Jason Bradley, take it away.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, we talk about this stuff, and County Road 81 is happening here in Blue Line Extension, and these Hennepin County commissioners that You know, they don't seem to be worth their salt when it comes to doing things that are actually good for the county. Well, this isn't just a Hennepin County issue. This is an issue that is popping up all over the state, where we see a push for transit, a push for alternative means of education. And so there's something we can take to learn from all of this. Because let me tell you, I mean, if you're, you know, let's just put it this way. We've met with some counties this year and have found some terrible things. And it just really takes us being able to put people in positions where they're willing to do some different things. We see light rail going all over the place, or high-speed rail, or passenger rail. They're working on trying to send the North Star Express all the way up to Duluth. You know, they want to send high-speed rail out to Chicago. They want it to go down to Mankato. You know, we got all these lines around the Twin Cities that they want to put in. It never pays for itself, but yet they continue to want it. They continue to want to spend the money on the environmental studies. They want to continue to spend, and they don't really care in the end what happens to you, unfortunately. So I just ask that you consider, what is the county doing? And most of you probably can't answer that because they hold their meetings during the day when you're at work and you really don't get much insight into them. But it's important to know so that you can be keeping them accountable for the things that they do. And maybe you run into somebody who doesn't like it enough that they're willing to run for one of those seats. We cannot allow people to continue to tear us down from the inside out because we just didn't have what it takes to pay enough attention to make sure that they do what's right. Well, guess what? You guys got elected to represent us. Do what's right. So we stand back and we think about it. You know, we look at our cities, we look at our school boards, we look at our state government, we look at our federal government, and the whole thing is just overwhelming. But it doesn't have to be. You know, less than 2% of like-minded people in this state, and we have majorities. We need to take stock of our lives. We need to band together. We need to put our differences aside. We need to be self-sacrificial. And the time is now. So let me tell you, by the time this comes out, at least as far as county races go, you're going to know who you have to vote for this year. It will be too late, because the filing period will have ended. But, you know, for a lot of city races and school board races, you still have a shot. You have another filing period coming up later this summer. So the time is now to make that decision, to say, I'm done with this. I'm done with the bad decisions. I'm done with doing something just because staff and administration say it's the right thing to do. I'm done with making bad decisions that put us further into debt. I am done with making bad decisions that take out homes, take out businesses, and put in more trains and planes and automobiles. It is time. I guess we need more automobiles. we need more room for those automobiles. We need to tear out all the signs that say 20 miles an hour, and we need to open it up, and we need to get things moving again and get more efficient. And we need a government that's not run by a bunch of 12-year-olds that, hey, Timmy, what do you want to do? Let's bike to the park today. You need people that are able to make some intelligent decisions. So I come to you asking for you to consider stepping into something like that, because we need you. We need you. Less than 1% of the people in the state, if we actually got together and did what we were supposed to do, we would have majorities of common sense people across the state making decisions, and we would look so much different. It's true. We've done the math, and it could not be more true. So I know we sit here every week and we tell you about all the bad things happening. Well, we want to start talking about some of the good things that are happening too, and they are. And we just need to hear from you guys and hear what you've accomplished by your standing. To mobilize and make this happen. We're all in this together. Don't be mistaken there. So reach out to us, COMMsolutionsMN@gmail.com. That's COMMsolutionsMN@gmail.com. If there's anything at all you would like to share with us or you want our help, we'd love it. So we're going to be back in another week with a brand new podcast. So don't you go anywhere. We love you, Minnesota, but now it's your turn to get to work. If I get too caught up